G'day ladies and gents, welcome back to another Flight Simulator X video. Today we are actually going to be flying in a older class of airplane. We have a special today. I'm actually going to be starting to do a series here. We're going to be doing Flight Simulator X aircraft reviews. This just popped up in my mind today. Also, another special reminder, happy late Easter, everyone. I'm terribly sorry I couldn't get a video yesterday. I was planning on doing it, and then was like, I had stuff to do. So, yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, happy Easter to all you guys. I hope you all had a great time with your family, and did family stuff, and just had a great time, you know? So yeah, it is now Monday, and start of the week. And, well, I just thought, how about I make a video? So, I'm starting off with actually one of my favorite aircraft that were built during the Great Depression. This particular airplane was one of them. This was called the Spartan Executive. It was actually the 1930s version of a luxury jet, you know? Like, it was only, like, there was actually not a whole lot of these particular aircraft built. There very few of them, but they were fast. It could reach a top speed of 250 miles an hour, which is pretty fast for a single-engine piston aircraft like this. It was luxurious, fitted with nice leather seats, padding, carpeting, nice finished wood in the interior. It's a beautiful aircraft all in all, and this was it was like your private jet without a jet engine, propeller engine. You know what I mean. It was basically just an aircraft in the 30s that was very luxurious and only used and purchased by people who were rich at the time, which was pretty sparse, because back then in 1930s, the Great Depression started right in 1920 and lasted all the way up through 10 years. And it ended in September 1st, 1939, or a little bit before that, because on September 1st, 1939, that's when World War II started, and more of me just nerding about all kinds of stuff. So, a little description of the quick aircraft. It had a 450 horsepower Pratt and Whitney Wasp air-cooled 9-cylinder radial engine. That's pretty good, to be honest, with this particular aircraft. Pratt and Whitney were pretty well known for their good engines. And it was pretty much your Learjet of the time. It was not only just extremely luxurious, but at the time when most air forces were operated like biplanes, because back then you didn't really have mono-wing aircraft, you had open cockpit biplanes. This was one of them, and it had retractable landing gear, which was also another big improvement, because that decreased a hell of a lot of drag, and back at the time there were not a whole lot of aircraft that had retractable landing gear, and it was also equipped with flaps as well. Alright, so let's hop on into the cockpit. So here we are, and as you can see, it looks pretty luxurious. You got in the back, you got a little folding table there, or a desk or whatever, nice seats, Life magazine, I guess. I guess a picture of the plane in the back, and the seats too, carpeting as well, nice finished wood. This aircraft was just built for the rich and luxury people. So without further ado, let's get her started up. So we're going to go ahead and close the door. Alrighty, let's get our battery on, and master avionics on. Oh, generator, and then there's the master avionics. So we're not going to be flying around for a while. I'm just going to do a little circle around the airport. So we're just going to get into that flight groove. So this is your prop control. If you cut it down completely, it feathers the propeller. Put it up to 100%. Doesn't, and there's your mixture. Okay. And let's fire her up. It's a very simple startup. But powered up right away. Alright, now let's taxi to the runway and get her in the air. So you guys can, this aircraft's actually freeware. You can get on simvation.com. Those guys have a lot of flight simulator add-ons, not just for XFX, FSX, but for X-Plane, Prepare 3D, all kinds of other flight simulators. Simvation has it all. You can also check out Flyaway Simulation. They do not have this particular plane, I believe. Well, they might, but it's not going to be as good. So if you want to get some good quality planes, you can check out Flyaway Simulation, but do check out simvation.com, because those guys have a lot of good aircraft for free. Some are actually extremely detailed, and you know, like this one here, like it may not be the most detailed aircraft yet, but you know, for what it is, like this is actually a pretty good aircraft for what you get. Like, it has a very close, well, actually, resemblance of the real aircraft. So, you know, like this is a pretty good airplane that, you know, you could get payware, but it's freeware, so that's even better. So yeah, I thought about doing just like a series of videos where I guess I discuss and just review certain aircraft, you know, and this one is going to be the first. I guess I didn't really review the Cessna 152, but I'm not really going to count it because I kind of already did in a small way as we were going up to Brantford. So yeah, that wasn't really a whole like full-on review, but you know, it was all right. Also, this aircraft does not need a long runway to take off. It actually, since it's pretty fast, it can just zip on up. So we're going to be shooting out this way here. So, you can see like that's just long enough to get us airborne, so we're fine. This aircraft is also equipped with flaps, which is another good thing too, because most biplanes at the time did not have flaps either. Alright, let's go to cockpit view. Also, in case you were wondering, we are taking off from Hamilton Airport again. I'm probably going to be taking off this airport most likely all the time, so yeah, just expect that mainly all the time. Because it is the runway where I live. I live in the city of Hamilton, so, you know, quick and easy access. But in case I do any other bigger reviews, then we might go to a different runway. All depends. Rotate. And we're up. Alright, positive rate gear is coming up. And this thing climbs pretty well too, and it handles really well as well. It's a very good and sturdy airplane to fly. You know, there's not a whole lot of heaving or pushing or whatnot like that. It's very simple to fly. You know, it's an easy bird to go with. So, you know, and it's also pretty simple for a trainer aircraft. You know, like if you want, you could try training with this plane. I wouldn't 100% recommend it, but hey, you know what? It's single engine. It's easy to fly, so you know what? Go with it, I guess. And also, as you can see, Hamilton is not covered in snow anymore because it's actually getting warm outside, thank God. Because, yeah, I'm kind of getting a little bit tired of all this snow and everything, so, yeah. But I'm also kind of thinking if I should get a new graphics thing for Flight Simulator X, because I am seeing like a lot of these videos where these guys have enhanced graphics and stuff on it, making it look a little bit better than X-Plane 11. I'm like, dang, look at that. So, Maybe I should probably get one of those. I know a few freeware add-ons that you can put on, like, I guess, kind of makes, like, you can make the scenery look a bit more mesh, water texture look a bit better, and so on. Trees and everything like that, so I might think about getting that, I don't know. I am running on a HP Pavilion laptop, so that might actually lag the shit out of the computer, so I do not know. But yeah, but for now I kind of comfortable sticking with this. But yeah, this is a beautiful aircraft that I really like. You guys should definitely get it. They did say on the description that this aircraft actually has a certain feature where when it rains, water cascades off the cockpit windscreen there, which I guess is pretty cool. Makes it feel a bit more realistic. This aircraft did not have windshield wipers at all, so if you were going to fly in rain, you'd kind of just have to deal with it cascading off the side of your windscreen there, but I guess that wasn't that much of an issue. This aircraft could, it was definitely not pressurized, so it could probably only fly to, I'd say the highest 20,000 feet, probably less, just in case, because at the time there were 0 pressurized cabin aircraft. The first pressurized cabin aircraft, I think, don't look at that, but I'm taking a rough estimate if it was the B-29 Stratofortress, which was built in 1944, and that was the plane that dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I think they said that aircraft had a pressurized cabin. I'm not too sure. Maybe earlier bombers like the B-17 or B-24, I don't know 100%, so don't get mad. I'm just taking a rough estimate, but I do know that airplanes before that, like the DC-3, they could only fly at 20,000 feet or lower, because you get higher than 20,000, there's barely any oxygen up there, and it's too thin, so you'd end up suffocating, so you had to fly at a restricted altitude. And these particular aircraft, since, well, they're also very small, they probably wouldn't be flying up that high anyway, so I'd probably just assume, you know, you might go up for like 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 feet. In this particular plane, that's it, probably lower. But yeah, it's just a cruiser, you know. But it is a very good airplane. I would probably rate it, like out of 10, I'd have to say a solid 8 or 9 out of 10 for just how good this aircraft handles and how perfect it is, you know. Like, I've never flown a Spartan Executive in this game, and I recently just got this aircraft, and I just fell in love with the plane. Like, I know a lot about the aircraft and how, you know, its whole story goes, but I always wanted to fly it in Flight Simulator X, but before I found Simvation.com, I couldn't find it on the flyaway simulation because it was just like textures or patches and everything. I was like, oh shit, I can't get the damn plane. Or like the installation was too confusing, you know, to install the thing, so I was like, you know what, I'll just give up. And then I found it, thing on Saturday. I was scrolling around looking for planes on Simvation. I found this, and I was like, ah, perfect. Okay, we're going to come in for a landing now. We are exceeding insane speeds, like they did say. It does go pretty fast, 250 miles an hour on the dot right there, almost 300. If you took the sucker into a nosedive, you could probably get it around 350. I don't know, it all depends on what kind of altitude you're at. But also, these aircraft were considered all metal. Ta-da! Yes, all metal aircraft. These had absolutely no fiberglass in these things. They were made of pure metal or steel. Like, I guess the only part that wasn't metal was the propeller, because, well, sometimes it'd be wood, sometimes it wouldn't be. I'm pretty sure half of this entire aircraft is made of stainless steel. Nowadays, aircraft are kind of made of fiberglass, but also they are made of steel. But back then in the 30s, you had more metal and stuff, so you could legit make your airplanes out of metal, like full-on metal. Like, for example, the Ford Trimotor, which was a pretty good airplane. It was actually a transatlantic aircraft, 3-engine, made by Ford himself. No, not Doug Ford. Fuck him to the moon and back. I want to punch him in the face. I'm just talking about the fucking company Ford that makes cars. They built a plane, an all-metal aircraft called the Ford Trimotor, which was an actual revolutionary aircraft, and it was built around 1935, 1934, and it was one of the first to actually make a transatlantic crossing. So that was a pretty famous airplane, and that thing was made all metal. Every single part of the plane, all metal. I guess the only things that weren't really metal was the, like, controls and interior and whatnot. That was probably made of steel, but the outside frame and everything was all made of metal. And I actually have a good, freeware aircraft of the Ford Trimotor itself. I can't control the tail wheel. I have to use rudder pedals for that, and my rudder pedals actually do not work with this particular flight simulator, which kind of is depressing, but, you know, that's life. So, yeah, so I have to take it off of the runway and all that kind of stuff, but I'll do a review on the Ford Trimotor if you guys want. I'll just put it up anyway. But yeah, it's a pretty good airplane. It's an interesting one, and it has some good history behind it, so yeah, it's a good airplane to fly. And we have touchdown. Oh, we bounced. Damn it. Bounced again. Okay, now we're down. And we are back at Hamilton Airport. That was a pretty quick flight, but a good review on the airplane. I think this particular model's propeller is actually made of wood, unless that's just a texture, unless, you know, whatever. I don't really think it's that wise to make a propeller made out of metal, so that propeller is probably made of stainless steel or steel in general. But most aircraft at this time were made of friggin' metal or stainless steel, full-on frame. And the glass was plexiglass. Back then that wasn't used until jetliners. Like even then, the Cessna Citroen 50, that jet had glass cockpit. Yeah. And also, you guys can look up videos on the Spartan Executive. It's a very beautiful plane. I think they're actually kind of using them for stunts now. Like, I saw this video. This guy has one, and he was using it in an air show. And he was doing frickin' barrel rolls with the damn thing, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're gonna break it? And, well, it didn't break, and it actually turned out to be a pretty damn good stunt plane, because he was doing barrel rolls, backflips, all this kind of stuff. So, yeah. Luxury plane takes a big toll. Yeah, so I got a hell of a lot of planes on FSX. You guys haven't seen, and I'll also be sure to let you guys know where you can find this particular aircraft. You want to get yourself a Spartan Executive for free, and probably not for $100,000, or, well, I'm not really 100% sure how much this aircraft would probably cost back then. Probably a hell of a lot less than it probably would cost now. But yeah, if you want to get yourself a free Spartan Executive, go over to simvation.com and you can click your way to some amazing aircraft. I do great at advertisements, don't I? Ha ha ha, comedy. But yeah, so go to Simvation and click on Vintage, or you can go to the search icon and type in Spartan Executive, and you will find this particular aircraft. Just look for it. I think this one, it said like raindrop canopy or something like that, because when you fly this thing in rain, as I said before, rain will cascade off the cockpit glass window. So yeah, go ahead and get yourself a Spartan Executive for free. Yeah, perfect plane, good condition, great thing to fly, good for the family too. You know, take your family somewhere in a luxurious freaking plane. Okay, let's shut her down. And magnetos off. And feather that propeller. There we go. Okay. Avionics off, battery off, generator off. Okay. We're down. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that short video of the Spartan Executive. If you guys would like, I'll do a lot more of these reviews. I'm actually going to try doing another one after I finish this. I just got to pick a plane that I might want to do. I don't know if I'm going to do timelines, because that's just going to confuse the shit out of me. So, well, it's not really going to confuse the crap out of me, but you know what? I'm just going to do mixed. Some aircraft are going to be 20th century, some are just going to be 19th century. I mean, wait, no, fuck. 21st century, 19th century, or 20th century aircraft, I don't know. Aircraft from the 1990s going up. Let's just say that. 1990s to 2000s going up. They're going to be mixed around. So, yeah. But anyway, thank you guys so much for sticking around. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like and just beat the shit out of that subscribe button, you know? Just beat it up, man. Join the club. Join the creed of Midnight Assassin's Creed. And make sure that you turn on your notifications so you do not miss out on another awesome video coming out. And I will catch you guys on the flippadoo side. Happy Easter, and cheers.